Romney has the advantage again heading into the caucuses tonight. A lot to talk about with our contributors, all of our contributors. Ari Fleischer, what are you looking for tonight?
I'm looking at two things. One, turnout, how energized are Republicans? And then, of course, the big one, who won? That's really key. The other is who is going to be the first ones to drop out, because that's going to be a huge issue going forward affecting Mitt Romney if he can continue to divide and conquer the field.
You say who won. It's often said that there's 3 tickets out of Iowa for the top 3 candidates, but in this case, 4th place matters as well.
Well, 4th place matters because you give kind of Ron Paul a pass. You just presume he's going to be in the top 2 or top 3, but it really doesn't matter because he's not going to go on much longer from here in a way that he can win a race. He can't do that. So you could say the top 4, but I think whoever wins, if Rick Santorum beats Mitt Romney, it's going to be big news coming out of Iowa.
Dana Lasher, for you, what are the big questions you're looking to have answered tonight?
Well, it's kind of along the lines of Ari. I'm sort of looking at intensity to see who all comes out, how many come out, and then also the definition of the non-Romney candidates. Who are the conservative candidates out of these? Who is going to be the non-Romney? This is testing the waters of that.
I believe Shannon Travis is talking to Michelle Bachmann right now. Let's listen in.
We're standing here with Congresswoman Bachmann right now as she comes to thank some of her supporters and maybe even convince some undecideds. What kind of reception have you been getting here?
Absolutely fabulous. As you can see, there's people all around us right now, and it's just been a wonderful reception. For me, this is home. I was born and raised here in Waterloo and Cedar Falls, Iowa, so I'm thrilled to be home in my own backyard. So it's exciting for me to be here, and this is the very first night on the beginning the book of who will replace Barack Obama as president. So this is a thrill tonight, the opening chapter.
Have you spoken with anyone here in the crowd, Congresswoman, that's undecided, that's maybe on the fence about supporting you?
There's a lot of people, yeah, that are undecided. There's a lot of them. And so we've been here shaking hands and talking to people, and we'll continue to do that. I'll speak for about 4 minutes, and then we'll continue to meet with more people.
And how do you try and get them off the fence into your camp to caucus? I mean, the caucus vote is about to start any moment.
It's about to start. People are looking for the one true core conservative that can take on Barack Obama and win. That's what I've demonstrated throughout the campaign. I have an unassailable record, whether it is on cutting spending, standing up for human life and marriage, or whether it's standing for national security. I'm the only candidate with current experience in national security. That's a premier issue right now because of a nuclear Iran. I'm the one who's demonstrated the fortitude to stand up in Washington. I haven't caved. I remained a real person. That's what they want in the next president. Someone will stand up, take it to Barack Obama, and win in 2012. I won really tough elections. I can win again in 2012.
Thank you so much, Congressman. Good luck tonight. I think we're clear.
Well, I mean, she was in the front at one point, as everybody was at one point.
She, like the rest of them, just improbable nominee, and everybody came. If it was Gingrich, if it was Donald Trump, if it was Kaine, if it was Perry. It started out, and Huckabee was the first front runner. He ended up not running. He'd probably be doing very well tonight. She just didn't. There's very, very, very slippery slope out there, and you got to be pretty good at it. She's just not up to the job of nomination.
If she doesn't finish in the top 4, is this her last night?
It doesn't matter. She could stay in. People are not going to pay. If she doesn't finish in the top 4 in Iowa, people in South Carolina, Florida, New Hampshire are not going to pay attention to her. It's the analogy. She's done. It doesn't. She can putt her own for a little while, but it's not going to matter. She doesn't finish very well here. I mean, I don't think she's done anyway, but she'll be double done.
Remember, she put everything on Iowa.
Yeah.
And so part of her problem was she did not do well in the debates. She had some moments where she was pretty good, then all of a sudden she would make a statement. Folks would say she flat out lied about it, and that just destroyed all of her credibility. In that one debate where she got a really good response against Mitt Romney, then all of a sudden she comes back out with the HPV vaccine, and that just destroyed all credibility. The debates showed also, I think, what happens when you are not on your game consistently. Romney was consistent throughout, couple of stumbles, but for the most part, the debate showed who was a strong candidate, who was the weak candidate.
The debates have been very important this season. We're going to talk about that tonight. Been fascinating, Wolf. You did a bunch of them. I did one as well. Really did play an important role so far in this primary season.
A lot of people think, Anderson, it was the year of the debate, if you will, and there are plenty more, assuming this race continues, and I think it will. We're taking you inside Iowa caucuses tonight as they happen. You're watching CNN's live coverage of America's Choice 2012, the Iowa caucuses.
Legend has it that Aphrodite, Greek goddess of love and desire, introduced the pomegranate to the island of Cyprus, where it was declared an aphrodisiac. And only Pom Wonderful has the juice of 4 whole pomegranates and is backed by modern science. Powerful then, Pom Wonderful now.
Dyson has invented a vacuum cleaner with a rather clever self-adjusting cleaner head. It automatically adjusts to different surfaces, sealing in more suction, even on hard floors. So you may find you have to empty the bin more often. Sorry. The new DC-41 seals in more suction. Rather a good idea.
My name is Ron Rossini. I'm 48 years old. I love to swim and I love to walk outside. Osteo-Biflex has really helped my knees.
Osteo-Biflex has been incredible for me, and I swear by it.
Osteo-Biflex, the glucosamine chondroitin supplement with 5 locks and advanced, shows improvement in joint comfort within 7 days.
Osteo-Biflex, my knees, thank you.
Osteo-Biflex, the #1 doctor and pharmacist recommended brand.
All eyes on New Hampshire. Join Wolf, Aaron, Anderson, Candy, and John for live coverage of the New Hampshire primary. CNN, next Tuesday night, 7 Eastern.
From the front rows of fashion to the front lines of the Middle East, you can trust the New York Times to deliver the highest standard of reporting from the world's finest journalists. So become a digital subscriber and get unlimited access to the Times. Act now and get your first 4 weeks for just 99 cents. A digital subscription gives you the full experience. All the videos, multimedia, blogs, and breaking stories 24 hours a day. Plus, get access to the Times wherever you go with custom apps for your smartphone or tablet. Just call 1-800-252-1006 or go to nytimes.com 99 cents. And see for yourself why a Times digital subscription is an experience you won't want to miss. Try it now, just 99 cents for your first 4 weeks.
After Iowa, Rick Santorum joins Piers Live. Piers Morgan live at midnight, CNN Tonight.
All right, the Iowa caucuses, they're getting ready to begin. The doors will close at the top of the hour. Right now, folks are arriving. They're walking in. You know what? They're also, some of them at least, answering questions. We have surveyors there for our what we call our entrance poll. We're going to share some of those results. That's not going to be fairly soon. They're telling us not only their backgrounds and a lot of personal information, they're also telling us who they're going to vote for going in. But you know what? They can change their minds because at these caucuses, there are representatives of the 6 candidates who will be speaking, making pitches, and they can always change their minds. You know what we should do, Ederson?
What's that, Wolf?
Let's take a look and see how these caucuses really work.
Okay.
And explain to our viewers. It's not that simple.
If only we had some new high-tech thing that had never been seen on television
You think we should
before.
try to do something like that?
Oh, look at this, the Weebles.
All right, watch this. You see what's going on? Check out these little guys. Imagine they're Iowa Republicans. They're showing up for caucuses in more than 1,700 precincts across the state, about 900 locations. This is going on in schools, church basements, even private homes. You see what's happening right now? Take a look at this. It's supposed to be a representative of Mitt Romney. He's going to the front of the room to promote his candidate, appeal for their support. Representatives, in fact, from all the candidates, if they want, they can have their say. They can make an appeal to the people at that caucus. Then comes the really important part. Listen to this, Anderson. The caucus goers get a chance to vote. They can write it down on a piece of paper. They can do it publicly, a show of hands sometimes, depends on the rules of the representative caucus. You see all those party officials over there. Once they get all the results, the representative of the caucus counts all those votes, old-fashioned way. They say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They count those votes, and then they actually get what's called a telephone. They call Des Moines, the Republican Party headquarters.
Are they zapping them with a laser?
Yeah, they have a telephone. They can make a call and give the results of that caucus. And you know what? It's pretty cool.
By the way, if you miss any of this, you can see it on The Daily Show later with Jon Stewart when he ruthlessly mocks you.
You like all those little guys over there?
I did. They're like Weebles. They're like, it's like kind of kicking it old school. Oh, look, there's a little Wolf Blitzer Weeble.
Yeah, look at that. There's a
He's got a beard. Look at that.
Yeah, he's doing some reporting from the caucus. That guy. It's pretty cool, don't you think?
Yeah, I guess.
That's how a caucus works.
Yes, I hope the Weebles are going to show up throughout the evening.
Get ready.
Oh,
we have more.
This is not the last you've seen.
Hold on a second, because I want everyone to appreciate that we just showed everybody in the United States and around the world
how the caucuses work.
How a Republican caucus works, because it's different than a Democratic
caucus. Are those the undecided voters, the ones that are...
Well, that's what's interesting about these caucuses, which I think a lot of people don't realize, is you can show up, you can be an independent voter, you can even be a Democrat as long as you re-register at this site. The rules are made up by the Republican Party.
Right, and you can change back the next day, and that could be the key to Ron Paul's success, right?
All right.
Because he'll attract...
Hold on one second, because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go over and check something out.
Okay. This is off script.
Joe Johns, he's standing by at one of those caucuses right now. He's in Ankeny, Iowa. Joe, what are you seeing where you are?
Well, if this is the campus of Des Moines Area Community College, you've just come down this hall. I'll give you some sense of what's going on. Right down here at the end of the hall is where this process really begins and ends. This is the check-in table. As you can see, there are people signing their names and addresses, what have you. And if their name isn't on the list, but if they want to participate in the caucus, they can simply sign up, register as a Republican, and then they're eligible to do so. Right across the hall here, Chris, unfortunately, it looks like somebody turned off the light for us, but this is the room where they're actually going to count the votes after all of those votes come in. So it's a computer room, not particularly impressive, but that's the room that really counts, as we say. Now, this right here is a sample ballot. It's actually green. It's very small, as you can see. Just a piece of paper. There are no names printed on it, just the seal of the Republican Party of the state. No names because they didn't want to decide whose name goes first, whose name goes last, whose name gets left out. All you have to do is write a name down, turn it in, and it'll be counted. And with me right here is one of the people who's actually caucusing. Your name is Greer Sisson, right?
Correct.
And now tell me, who are you caucusing for tonight?
Mitt Romney.
And did you caucus for him last time?
Well, no, I didn't. I supported him. I was at the caucus last time, and yes, I should say, yes, I did support him last time in the caucus. This time I'm going to be speaking for him, and I didn't do that last time.
Great. And did you go to classes? Did they send you a speech? How did you end up deciding you were going to do this? Because you're also going to speak, correct?
Yes, I am going to say a few words on behalf of Mitt Romney, and the campaign headquarters just called and asked if I'd like to do that, and I said, sure, I'd love to.
Great. Thanks so much, Ms. Sisson. Nice meeting you. Back to you, Wolf.
Joe, thanks very much. We're going to be checking back with you often. Let's go to Indianola, Iowa right now. In fact, Indianola High School, Peter Hamby is standing by. I think they expect about 200 folks to show up at the caucus. Peter, where you are?
That's right. This isn't as big as the other caucus sites that we've been seeing tonight. Indianola is the center of Warren County, which is a very conservative part of the state. Mike Huckabee won here the last time. It's going to be kind of a good petri dish for where that conservative anti-Romney vote is moving tonight. Take a look over here. People have just started to arrive. You can see what a precinct actually looks like in the caucuses. Right here, we are in the 4th ward of Indianola, and they have about 2,000 Republicans registered to vote here. They're expecting about 200, Wolf, but you can see they're signing in. And over here to my right, they are preparing some of the secret ballots that are going to be counted tonight. This is actually what they look like, Wolf, right here. So probably not a lot of John Huntsman votes coming out of this district tonight, Wolf.
In some of those caucuses, folks can do it secretly. Other caucuses, they do it publicly. In Indianola, these are secret ballots. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, that's right, Wolf. I mean, they vote by secret ballot. They count them publicly, so we'll be watching the vote counts as they come in. There's a table in another section of the room after the precinct leaders speak for their chosen candidates. Then the ballots are going to be counted out, and we'll all be able to watch, and there will be volunteers from the campaigns that will be observing the vote. But the initial vote, secret ballot, stick it in an envelope, and someone else is going to count it, Wolf.
Peter Hamby, thanks very much. Let's go to Soledad O'Brien right now. She's at Clive, Iowa. Where exactly is Clive, Iowa, Soledad? Soledad.
They're redialing.
All right, hold on, Soledad. If you can't hear me, Soledad, can you hear me?
Now, yes. Can you hear me?
I hear you. I was saying you're in Clive, Iowa, and you're going to tell our viewers where Clive, Iowa is.
Well, let me tell you something. Clive is an area that is very, very populated. What's interesting here is that there are 2 precincts that are caucusing here. And I want to show you the size of this space and also the size of this line now, Wolf. It really goes on. In the last couple of minutes, it has grown very big. One of the reasons they've had to come to a space this size is because the suburban populations that are caucusing here, West Des Moines 1 and West Des Moines 2, they've grown so quickly, so much, they've had to move out of the churches and the schools that they